So I've been watching these videos about the customer states or the customer says, and then they show a small clip of some catastrophic failure on a car, and you think, oh, how did the customer not know that that is a problem? And one of the things that keeps popping up is customer states engine noise, and they drain the oil and it's molasses in the wintertime. So they've 90,000 miles, never changed the oil, that kind of stuff. And the mechanic's like, how could they possibly do this? So today I was trying to think of a video. It's sometimes hard to think of a video, and you're trying to always think what you can see, you talk about. And so I'm sitting here thinking about it, and I see this lawnmower. This lawnmower's got 39 hours on it. I mean, it's basically brand new. And it's just packed full of grass. And I was sitting here thinking about all these mechanics and what they would say about this. I mean, I scrape the grass out, don't get me wrong. And I'll wash it after I'm done servicing it. But the mechanics would say, that's terrible. These people need to take better care of their lawnmowers. Okay. There's no argument really against that. I mean, I guess they should. But it is their lawnmower, and they can do whatever they want. And if they want to bring it to me to do it, that's even better. So when the mower breaks down and they're like, oh man, that mower broke down. Well, what's wrong with it? I don't know. And you get in there and it's packed full of grass and the belt has come off because it's so packed. Well, I get to make some money off that. And I don't see what the big deal is, but you see these mechanics all the time just griping and complaining about how customers need to take better care of their equipment. Well, if they're taking better care of their equipment, they're not paying you to fix it. So I'm like, hey, run it until it dies and then bring it over, I'll fix it. I don't understand the concept that mechanics should be complaining about their customers giving them work. Sounds strange to me. But the thing is, I know I'll get in the comment section and somebody will say, well, they should be taking better care of their equipment. Okay. I can guarantee you, and I can prove this to you, that there is something in your life that you don't take care of. Oh, I'm sure, yeah, you'll go out and you'll change the oil every 3,000 miles. Even with synthetic, and it says, 6,000 miles, that's what you need. You're out there changing it 3,000 miles. You're changing the brakes every 20,000 miles. You're doing all the things you're supposed to be doing. You're changing the hoses and the belts and all of it. You're just the master of perfect maintenance. Your lawnmowers are spotless. You don't touch it you don't use it without washing the mower deck, and which I'm sure there's nobody out there actually doing all this, but I'm just going to go with it. And so you do the oil changes when you're supposed to. But what's funny is if you're doing all that and you're changing the belts when you're supposed to and you're changing the oil, then why is everybody calling these new engines junk, junk, junk? They're just junk. Well, they're not junk. They're actually really good engines if you take care of them. I mean, so each one of them, Kawasaki and Kohler, Briggs, and all of them, Honda, have issues. The Briggs single cylinder camshaft compression relief breaks all the time on them. Kohler, they have this what's called a bucket engine, and it gets a crack in them all the time. But if you were maintaining them, the bucket engine would never break. You just go in there and you check those bolts like it tells you to in the instructions, and you tighten those bolts every now and then, or you put Loctite on them, whatever you want to do. But I don't think they're junk. I think they all have certain issues. But if this guy wants me to clean his deck every 39 hours, so be it. I'll do it. I don't have a problem with that. I get money for it. And the thing is he's going to get it back, and it's going to be washed and spotless and pretty nice looking. I mean, he's got rocks in there, I guess. I don't know what his rocks for. Maybe he's been collecting them as he goes around and just throws them up here. You would think he'd have gotten rid of them before he put them on the trailer to bring it over here, but whatever. I'll put them in a bag, we'll wash it, and he'll be like he's got a new mower. But I know, again, there are people out there in the comment section just going to tell me how wonderful they are at maintenance. Well, I got a story. I had two grandpas. Obviously, everybody's got two grandpas. I mean, some people have more than two grandpas, but I had two grandpas, one from my mother's side and one from my father's side. And I'll start with my father's side, because I think everybody, including him, realized how bad he was at maintenance. I mean, he never maintained anything. He would cut grass. Not cut grass, cut firewood. I mean, he lived out on the, well, my first 10 years of life, I guess, yeah, maybe 14, they lived on 5 acres, and then after that, they moved to 20 acres. And they cut firewood. And he bought these home-like chainsaws. And he'd buy 3 or 4 of them, 5 of them. And he'd cut and cut and cut, and that one would be junk, and he'd throw it to the side, and he'd cut and cut and cut, and that would be junk, and he'd throw it to the side, and he'd leave them out. Lawnmowers never changed oil. I mean, the oil was like soup when you pulled the dipstick out of it. He did take them in to get them worked on, but he never maintained them. I mean, they were just, nothing was ever maintained. He would just leave tools out. Firearms, big thing for me. They were all rusted and busted up and scraped, and he used them. I mean, we all went out hunting, and he'd have them in the corner in case somebody came in the house. I mean, but they were just cobwebbed and rusty, and some of them wouldn't cycle anymore. The barrels were just caked with residue, probably lead also. He never cleaned them, never did anything like that. But I will say, he was the picture of health. Absolute picture of health. He lived to probably, I think, I don't know, I'm just going to say about 85. Picture of health. His entire life, he was a picture of health. He was a chiropractor and a naturalist. I mean, he had cancer one time, and, you know, he solved this cancer problem. Grandma had cancer. One of his patients had cancer. So, you know, picture of health. And anybody would say that he ate unhealthy. I mean, he'd eat the meat, the red meat. Oh, you're not supposed to eat red meat. That'd kill you. And that was all through the, you know, my life was growing up. You're not supposed to eat red meat. And but we had red meat every night. I mean, absolutely every night. But anyway, he was the picture of health. Just the healthiest person you could imagine. And Grandma wasn't too far behind him. They took vitamins every night. I remember Grandma hated taking vitamins. She just hated it. She hated drinking water too. She took it like medicine. She always said, drink water like medicine. So, but she would drink Gatorade. But she just hated water. But they would, every night, get out their vitamins. I mean, they must have had 50 of them. So, then you kind of switch over to my mother's father. And I tell you, he maintained everything perfectly. He was a carpenter. He retired as a carpenter. He was the foreman of this big place in St. Louis. Huge. They built everything. The Checker Dome, they did something. I don't know exactly what, but they built the roof, and he prefabbed every board. And they shipped all those boards over there after he prefabbed them. And they put it on. I mean, he could build things. He was big on lawnmowers. I mean, he had the greatest lawnmowers, and him and I used to work on them all the time. That's how I kind of got my, I don't know, my passion about them, you know, whatever you want to call this. It was because he and I would work on them. Dad and I would work on them too, but he was just so great at working on lawnmowers. Although he was a carpenter, he showed me how to work on lawnmowers. Not carpentry, because I hated carpentry. He knew I liked lawnmowers, apparently. So anyway, and his firearms. Oh, he had such a collection of firearms, and they were all pieces of art. And I got my ability to maintain firearms like he does. Just, they were artwork. And if you went out shooting to target practice or anything, you would come home and you would strip those guns down and clean them. The dining room table. I mean, you wouldn't go any further than the dining room table. That's where you went and you cleaned them. And I look at guns like pieces of art. I took my mechanical skills and how to take care of things and maintenance things. I don't maintain this truck as well as I should, but I do maintain it. I change the oil when I'm supposed to, and you know, I probably should change the belts and things. I keep an eye on them. That's key. I check everything. I don't change them like I should, but I do keep an eye on them. Make sure I get the maximum wear out of them, or maximum use. So, Even I kind of neglect the maintenance of things a little bit, but I still think I do a pretty good job. And if there's an issue, I immediately address it. But then you also kind of look at my health. Of course, I don't go to doctors. I'm kind of like my dad's father. Natural things. I'm into natural things. Grandpa didn't go and get the chemotherapy. He cured himself of cancer. So I don't like doctors. And I'm not saying Grandpa didn't like doctors. I'm sure he's went to doctors. I don't remember when, but I'm sure he did. I know he went to the doctor and that's how they diagnosed his cancer. But regardless, I don't go to doctors, and I try to stay pretty healthy. I'm slim, and I mean, I got some issues, but as soon as I get an issue, I address it just like I do with the truck. Oh, there's an issue, I address it, and I try to take care of it. You know, Carolyn went to the hospital a few months back. She had some stomach issues, and doctor said she had to get surgery. She didn't get surgery. We looked up what we needed to do naturally, and she's, oh, trust me, 1,000 times better. And so then we look at my mother's father, and his health was terrible. He died very young. I don't know, maybe 65. I was 13 when he died because he owed me some paddlings. You know, he paddled for my 13th birthday, and I probably got to like number 5 before I said, okay, that's enough. So he owed me some. I remember that. And but he was very obese. Arthritis just ate him up. Could barely walk. Strong as an ox. I mean, oh, just horribly strong, but he was just so sick. And instead of vitamins, Grandma and Grandpa on my mother's side took medication. And it was just as bad as what Grandma and Grandpa on my father's side did with vitamins. I mean, there were just handfuls of pills. I mean, and I saw this one time. Had to take a lady in for a drug test for the place I worked. So I took her over to the drug test facility, and she had a whole list of, she brought brown paper bags of all of her medications. And she had one medication for high blood pressure and another medication for low blood pressure. And I wonder if Grandpa had both of those pills. But just terrible health. So Grandpa, although maintained his equipment very well, he didn't maintain his health. So I think it's very hypocritical when you say, they should be doing things and they should be doing it this way, because I can guarantee you there is something in your life that you're not maintaining. Here's what I see about people. Is there a large group of people that I meet in life or know or have met do not self-analyze. They'll analyze other people. Oh, they're crazy. They do this and that and this and that. But they don't self-analyze. There are 10 commandments in the Bible. I think there was more than that. I really do. And I think number 11 was don't be a hypocrite. And I think a lot of people are. They don't even realize what they're saying. If you're saying that this gentleman needs to maintain his lawnmower better because you maintain everything, my shop tools are in all perfect order, and just on and on and on, but you weigh 500 pounds and you drink every night, then you have a maintenance problem. You do. Just because you maintain your equipment doesn't mean you're maintaining your life. So it's hypocritical. And they say one of the 10 commandments is don't judge. And here you are judging. Well, don't you get judged too? Isn't it only fair? No, this man, if he wants to run his John Deere zero turn into the dirt, full of grass, and wants me to maintain it every 39 hours, fine. And if he doesn't, and he just wants to run it until it dies, he doesn't want to maintain it all, doesn't want to pay for it, then he'll go get a new one when he's done with this one. It really is just the way it is in life. He seemed like a healthy guy, not obese, so probably makes a good amount of money. So if he wants to replace it every few years, so be it. I don't see the anger, why people get so angry when they don't follow your rules. Whether you're the obese one or you're the healthy one, either way, I can guarantee you that you fall into their judgment also. You judge them, they're judging you. How about not judging? This world has become very evil. I was almost about ready to make this video about evil people. It's very evil. And the reason, I don't know if it's always been that evil, But it's very evil. And this is why, because I don't think people know how to self-analyze. I've told you before, I have a disability. And it almost makes me overanalyze myself. Carolyn gets so fed up of me analyzing everything. You know, I'll get off a phone call and I say, did I handle that phone call all right? Did I say something that was inappropriate or incorrect? Or, you know, I'm always analyzing to a ridiculous degree, almost an OCD degree. But at least I'm not judging someone else without judging myself first. So if you'll click this up next box, it'll take you to a video on my other channel. Really appreciate you to go check it out. It'll be a brand new video today. I really appreciate it. So I hope I can inspire you to judge yourself so you can live your dreams. Thanks for watching.